Okay, I can't resist this. Here's a second story. In this week's Torah portion, there are a lot of laws, and one of them is some of them are prohibitions, and one of them is not to steal the boundary of your neighbor. If you're a next door neighbor, not to steal, not to move his boundaries. How many commandments are in this week's Torah portion? There's a lot. There are 38 commandments in this week's Torah portion. 38 commandments. One of them is okay. So there's a story. Once two men came into a rabbi, and it doesn't say the name of the rabbi in the story, but they came into a rabbi. This is maybe 100 years ago, whatever, and they were yelling and screaming at each other, almost to the point of violence. And the rabbi's assistants and helpers and servants, they had to hold these two people about. All right, so the rabbi said, "What's wrong?" So each one said, "He stole my land." The other one said, "He stole my land." What does it come out? That these people are next door neighbors, and that they had a fence between there was a line between them. There was no fence. There was a line between. So it was just self-understood what the boundary was, and they woke up in the morning one day, and one of them built a fence, right? And they built the fence. So he said that this man built a fence, and he's stealing my land. He's stealing my land. He moved his fence into my area, and the other one says he's a liar. It's not so. So the rabbi said, let's go to the place where it is, and let's see the place. So they go, and the rabbi's standing there with his servant and these two men, and the men are screaming at each other. So the rabbi says, "Okay, listen, you talk. You have 5 minutes to explain yourself, and you just keep quiet. And then afterwards, you're going to have 5 minutes to explain yourself, and then you keep quiet." He says, "Okay, you're first." So he says, "Rabbi, you see that rock over there? You see that tree over there? That used to be the boundary. That was the boundary for my father, for my grandfather. It was a known regular boundary. That was the boundary, and he moved the fence. He moved the fence into my land. To my land. That's where it was. That's the boundary." So, and not only that, he moved it. His father, with the fact that his father was a liar, and the rabbi said, "Okay, that's what you have to say. Let's now you be quiet. Let's say the other." The other person says, "Rabbi, you see that river over there, that little creek? That used to be the boundary, and he moved the thing into my land, right? Into my land. So the creek is now in his portion. He moved it into my land, and it's not the first time he's done this, Rabbi. You should know he's a liar. Everybody in the community knows." The rabbi said, "Okay, just keep quiet." The rabbi said to his servant, "Please hold my hat." The rabbi takes out a handkerchief, puts it on the ground. He gets on the ground, and they say, What are you doing, Rabbi?" The rabbi said, "Well, I heard your testimony. I want to hear what the ground has to say." So they were looking at the rabbi. Well, the ground will speak to the rabbi. They stood by it, and they were in awe. The rabbi kneels down on one knee, and he puts his ear to he kneels down on the handkerchief, and he puts his ear to the ground, and he listens, right? And he stands up, brushes himself up. He says, "Okay." So they said, "The ground just spoke to you?" The rabbi said, "Yes." So what did the ground say? He said, "Well, you claim that this land in question belongs to you, right?" "Yes." "And you claim that the land in question belongs to you, right?" "Yes." "Well, the ground just told me that in another 30 years, both of you are going to belong to it. You're both going to be buried. You're going to die, and you'll be buried. Now you want to make this big argument? Maybe you want to make some sort of a concession." Both of them thought, "Yeah, I thought I was going to live forever." I thought they realized the temporality of life. Must be a better word than that. the fleeting nature of life, and they both came to their senses, put it in the proper perspective, and calmed down so that it was possible to make a agreement between the two of them. Have a good day with Mashiach now.